Twitch and YouTube, rather, back here with the coverage of the Newbie and the Beast tournament high-elo bracket. And today's series is going to be El Matador and eldeniro making their debut in this tournament against Mihai and aleksanderG, who are going to be playing their last series in this event. And well, this is gonna be a big one, because if Mihai and aleksanderG, spoiler, click away now if you want to avoid spoilers for the previous series. If Mihai and aleksanderG end up winning this series, they would secure first place in the tournament already. We've got the 5 teams on screen right here. It is a single round robin of best of 3s. And you can see all these teams that are 0 and 1 have already been beaten by Alexander and Mihai. Team Romania looking impeccable so far. So unless eldeniro and El Matador can beat them here, they would be able to secure first place. 4-0, perfect record. Nobody could topple them at that point. Now, the tournament is still not over after that, because second and third place also get declining amounts of prize money, but that would be a big win there for the Romanian team. But eldeniro, El Matador, we haven't seen them play in this tournament yet at all. For all we know, they could be really well prepared and a good match for Matador. For Mihai and Alexander. And in fact, El Matador and Mihai on the ladder, they are almost the same elo. So in terms of beast players, we're definitely talking about the same tier of player here, elo-wise. For the newbie players, eldeniro and aleksanderG, and we'll check out the elos there real quick. aleksanderG is on the higher end there. He's on average above about 100 elo above eldeniro, so maybe a slight edge elo-wise still to Team Romania in this matchup. But still, it should be a competitive one. And again, these elo data that I have for the newbies are a little bit outdated, so things could have changed in the last few weeks on that as well. Okay, now we're about to get into this series. If you're not familiar yet, it's going to be a best of 3, the first game being a 2v2 on Nomad. The games 2 and 3 would be 1v1 games then. The team that wins 2 of these games first is going to be the victor of the best of 3. That's how best of 3 works. I think most people are familiar with that. Okay, no more chit-chatter around it though. Let's jump into the first game here. Matador and eldeniro against Mihai and Alexander on Nomad. Well, we've seen a couple of very entertaining Nomad games already in this tournament, and we're hopefully going to get another one in that mold. Well, Team Romania, they are looking to secure that first place finish in this tournament. It would be an impressive one for sure. Let's check out the civilizations that they have in order to try and achieve that. It is the Lithuanians and the Vietnamese, 2 familiar old faces that we've seen them pilot before in this tournament that have worked out very well for them. And look at this. This is perhaps one of the most clear, fairest 1v1s that we've had in this tournament so far. We've got 2 players in the very best, planting right next to each other, and even closer, the 2 players in the east here, also right next to each other. And again, it is, like in the very first series of this tournament, it is a matchup between the newbies and the beasts. So it is the lower rated player of one team against the higher rated player of the other team, and vice versa. On that in a second though, let's finish up the roundup of our civilizations in this game. Got the Vietnamese back here for aleksanderG. It's already performed really nicely on them before in this tourney, and man, that is just a really nice civ to have on Nomad as well. Look at the vision there. You get to know about the enemy's TC location, already knows that El Matador is down here, and he's going to be made aware of the position for eldeniro also in just a second. And there he goes, sees that TC pop up just north of Mihai, so they're going to be completely well informed about all of this. Not only the TC locations are interesting about the Vietnamese though, they also of course have amazing archers, amazing counter archers, and specifically the combination with the Lithuanians is something that I like to play in my 2v2 matches as well, together with my folks. It's just OP trash, isn't it? I mean, look at that combination. Tower shields for Lithuanians with extra pierce armor on the spears and skirms, combined with the team bonus Imperial Skirmisher upgrade from the Vietnamese. You get the most OP skirmishers in the game there with the Lithuanians. If it goes to Imperial Age, that is. You don't want to be playing any Archer Civs against this combination here, trust me. Both Lithuanians and Vietnamese are just gonna mess up your day if you try to go into Archers. So that is gonna be a trouble in the late game for anybody trying to match up against this. Lithuanians, though, the more traditional Knight Civ, whereas Vietnamese are gonna be the Archer player in this one. For the Lithuanians down here, Mihai, he is the beast. He is the highest rated player on the ladder in this game. Let's see how he'll do with the Lithuanians here. Already talked about this. They are nice, have always been a popular civ on hybrid maps because of that extra food you spawn with, making the early dog production easier as well. And for the Lithuanians, of course, they are well known for their cavalry play. Castle Age, could definitely see an FC here as well from Mihai. In Castle Age, with your latest, if you're able to pick up a relic or two as well, you've just got one of the most unfair damage output units in the entire game with the latest roaming around the map. Nobody likes facing that, so that could give a lot of trouble to his opposition. Speaking of which, let's also check out the civilizations for Team L and L. What do we have there? It is the Berbers on the western side here that are going to be played by eldeniro. Whereas, whoops, what did I just do? Oh boy, I'm messing up my entire setup. It's all good though. Malians are going to be the choice there for El Matador. Well, not bad. Not bad, is it? Right, the Berbers, the more traditional maybe cavalry civ, but also camel archers there, so can go into projectile units as well if needed. Whereas the Malians, well, they're a bit more flexible. We often see them played with archers, but in late game, no bracer there, so that is a bit awkward then. Really more of an infantry civilization, but with Farimba, the cavalry, the camels aren't too bad either. Gunpowder options will be there in the late game as well. For the Berbers, perfect blacksmith, and that stable discount in Castle and Imperial Age is especially useful. On faster moving villagers, also a useful bonus to have on Nomad, and the fishing ship, or all of the ships actually, moving faster as well. Really nice on these water maps, especially when the docks of the enemy are far away, like in this case. Able to get there and harass them more easily. Or just in naval encounters in general, being able to micro better with their movement speed is not a bad bonus to have. Oh, that villager fight is going to be broken up. It's going to be aleksanderG retreating. It is going to be fun to watch these two 1v1s unfold. I wonder which of these guys is going to look to FC, if anybody will decide to do that, or if we're going to see feudal age pressure with players spawning so far together. Generally, I'd assume that Berbers and Lithuanians would like to ideally go for an FC, but we'll see if that is going to be possible. We get the feudal age on the way for both players in the west here, actually. Both eldeniro and Mihai on the way to H2. Mihai 10 seconds ahead, not really much to speak of, but still going to be a little bit faster. It's already on gold as well. eldeniro actually, interestingly, was gathering stone there. That is very surprising to me. Why would he go out on stone instead of... This is confusing to me. So he's clearly going for a tower play then. It's the only thing you can make with stone in feudal age, but that's a lot of stone miners. He hasn't got any setup here at all. Let's see how this goes. Barak's gonna come out for Mihai. Well, I'm intrigued by this, to say the least. Looking forward to seeing how this plays out in the west. In the east, meanwhile, we're gonna get about a minute later these feudal age times coming in. What these two guys are going to go into. But let's focus on the west for now. That's gonna be the first tower for eldeniro, outside of the vision there. So Mihai does not see this coming right now. He's going to find out about it in a second though, or is he? Well, not quite. The archer range comes up. That is certainly going to be a surprise there. as you don't typically expect archers from the Lithuanians, but eldeniro is going to see this archery range. He's also going to wall this tower in if possible, and the range is going to be denied for now. That is pretty fortunate for him, honestly, that the archery range was attempted right inside of his face. Counter tower now coming out, but that's already a tower going up behind, actually, that Mihai does not see. So could be difficult for him, actually. He's gonna get... Wow, that is such a perfect position on this tower. Look how the entire woodline would be idled by this. Certainly unfortunate placement there, if you're Mihai. And let's also check over in the east here. Oh, looks like El Matador thinking about a fast castle. He's got 1 million food, well, both players are actually looking to go towards that, it seems. Let's keep the eyes on the west, though, as this archery range was finally forced up. And another tower is attempted, but I don't think this is going to be allowed. Yeah, Mihai is going to have to word about this. He's going to deny this tower. I don't like this approach. And no fletching there, especially for eldeniro, is going to hurt, whereas it was just picked up by Mihai, who was forced off of its woodline dance out. This was an amazing tower. I have to emphasize this. Really well done by eldeniro on that one. And now Mihai forced to migrate with a lot of villages here, so the damage certainly is real. Very good job by eldeniro here in the west. And remember, he is the newbie, figuratively, of course, only. In this matchup, he is much lower rated, so being able to deter Mihai like this, nobody has been able to do that in this tournament so far. Well, I gotta say, Dragon also did really well in the 1v1 in game number 1. Don't want to undersell anybody's effort here. The other side, aleksanderG is harassing here quite well, but El Matador, as I already said, is on the way to Castle Age. He had a lot of rest there, and so right now, honestly, it might be a really good spot for Team El Matador and eldeniro. They're gonna get that fast Castle Age time in. They're not gathering any stone, though, so a castle drop is not going to be an option for the Malians here. I wonder what they're going to do in Castle Age then. Very good tower position here also that will be attempted by aleksanderG. Still the tower harassing the woodline there by eldeniro. Such a good placement, but Mihai just needs some resources here. Has to suffer through it for the time being. As the archery range no stable, it is awkward for the Lithuanians for sure. I haven't kept an eye on the water battle yet so far. It seems it is relatively even, yet neither side has lost their fishing ships yet. Second TC is what the fast castle will result in for El Matador, because I mean that's the only thing he can really do. Will buy himself a little bit more eco space. That aleksanderG has actually not gone up to Castle Age yet himself at all. He's going to put up that tower behind the woodline. Let's see if this is within vision. Well, it is now. So that is unfortunate. And the first TC is already under fire for El Matador. Oh, how well is this going to go? He's trying to rush down these archers to the villagers. Very bloody affair. He's going to get both of them dead though. So good job cornering them in there. Not a bad trade, I assume. And third TC actually for El Matador here. He's able to sneak out with a bunch of villagers. And that is not looking too bad, because this TC is virtually unharassable. So the score situation is still relatively close. On land, things have quieted down a little bit. The raiding party being sent out over here in the west by Mihai. Maybe those are going to be able to find a few picks. Fletching is available, so those two archers in there, they do a lot of damage to villagers. Oops. Looked like Capture Age was going to crash there for a second, so that thankfully it didn't. And El Matador fighting to stay alive over here in the east as well. No other players on the way to Castle Age yet though, so he's got that going for him. He's got that siege workshop there. Could be quite powerful. He's able to produce from it. Of course, his resources are stretched rather thin. And good job by Mihai as well, breaking into this tower here. Finally going to be able to free up his woodline again after this. Okay. And, aleksanderG's tower much better defended here. With the stone walls will be a pain in El Matador's side for the entire game here, most likely. Now we have Alexander also on the way up to the next age. Let's see. Is he on stone yet? No, there's actually 0 stone anywhere near him. He is so unfortunate with that. He's migrating out to get stone now, but yeah, had he any close stone, that could be really awesome. He could give El Matador a lot of trouble with a castle drop right about 1 or 2 minutes from now. Instead, he's going to have to defend against this mangonel somehow, which is extremely difficult with few blade units. No monks, no siege of his own, and the archers with very little range, so they're not going to fare too well either as we see them be annihilated. That is a scary one. 2 mangonels here in the field by El Matador, and he's got the 3rd one coming. Oh jeez. More towers actually being added by eldeniro, interestingly, who finally has fletching. Ooh, this is a bit iffy though, needs to stay out of range there. I don't love this tower. It doesn't look like that is going to be long for this world. A lot of castle ages now coming in. Both players of Team Romania are on the way up. And I think this front here in the west might be tilting soon here. I really like Mihai's position there. He's going to be able to deny a tower. He's got a lot of army there as well. And the villager numbers 25 for eldeniro. Villagers only. That is extremely low. Overall, the eco numbers on both sides are rather similar, and that's why the score is also virtually the same. El Matador doing a lot of damage to aleksanderG right now, while I believe Mihai to be able to take over on the western front as well. So the beast players certainly showing their strength. The TC has gone down for aleksanderG, and he's starting off with some knights. Knights amazing against mangonels. Of course, there's 4 mangonels here. They might all die to a single knight, but of course will not be allowed by Mihai. Really nice mangonel shots here already. Teases a dodge. It doesn't end up coming out, but the town center fire will do the rest. Nicely done. Needs something though to keep these mangonels alive. I'd like to see some monks behind, and yeah, there is the monastery. So the monks are going to be coming. A Bodkin arrow upgrade also on the way for the Lithuanians. Well, Lithuanian skirms, am I right? I didn't expect them in feudal and castle age, but they are here already, and they are quite fast moving as well, as you can see. 4 mangonels still alive and well. 2nd monastery coming up for Mihai. He's going hard into monks against the Vietnamese, who, sure, they've shown 1 knight, but that doesn't mean that he's going to commit into cavalry. There's no blacksmith upgrades from Alexander that would indicate such a move. So double monastery almost I don't really like. Seems a bit excessive by El Matador. He's got 3 TCs still working though. He's going to take out this tower now. He's got the mangonels already, so might as well use them for something. Seems like a good choice, although, well, they are taking quite some damage here. But he should be able to take this out. Gets a conversion on a knight here. That is really nice. There wasn't really a lot of knights to begin with, so every single conversion matters. Checking back in here in the west. Well, most of the towers are still standing there. And finally, eldeniro also able to click up to the next age, but that TC here for Mihai already working wonders. And gets a free 100 food from that as well. Ooh, what a shot! Ouch! Mihai, that was a couple of stones to the face. Matador gets a really good one in there. Well, attempts another conversion, doesn't quite get that one. Still on 3 TC, so Matador's certainly strong in this one. Look at the villager numbers, he's got a big lead, but all the opposite is true for eldeniro, who's still only on 28, on the way up to castle age here. So he's going to be massively behind. I don't think he's going to be able to handle Mihai for much longer, honestly. TC number 4 attempted by El Matador here. The scouts coming onto the monks. 2 conversions. Wow, okay. Both monks staying alive there. That was a better trade than I had expected. But now the knight can swoop in. No faith on either of these monks. And, well, has to garrison those. Nice reaction though. El Matador is certainly on top of his game here. Not looking too bad. Is he going to be able to carry this? He's got a really nice position. Mihai is about 10 villagers behind him, but Mihai also adding more TCs still. And so is Alexander. Like, if you compare the newbie players especially, it looks like Alexander's in a much better position than eldeniro at this point. who only now is going to hit Castle Age. Berber Castle Age power spike really, really strong though. Double stables are here, and you can see the knights being queued up immediately. Strong Castle Age discount allowing stable production even if the eco isn't as great, and it definitely isn't in this game. No lies to be told about that. Now, although El Matador is going to attempt a second push here, he's going to bring a castle forward that, well, I'm not sure about this position. It doesn't secure any additional res. I guess it secures the front line here against Alexander. But, well, maybe that's all a Matador really needs right now, as that castle is going to go up there for sure. Alexander has already migrated all of his eco pretty far away from there though, so he's not going to be deterred too much by this. And, well, fourth TC now. Mihai, he's really extending his eco super far. We saw this from MBL, I believe, in the first game of this bracket. Extending his TCs in a straight line into the middle of the map opens yourself up to a lot of harassment potentially, but at least spreads out the eco super far and secures a lot of resources for the time being. Magna push still strong. Well, okay, let's assess the situation. At this point, Romanian team, a lot of villages up already. I haven't looked at the naval situation, but it seems like there's still some fishing ships for both sides. 13 actually for Mihai, 5 only for El Matador. And looks like Mihai might be getting the better end of the naval fight. It's hard to say. It doesn't look like there's huge naval commitment by either side. Okay. Oh. Slow the engine forward here. Castle drop by eldeniro. Just wants to secure his base, secure the resources that he already has. And he's got quite a good amount, 7 knights, despite not really having an eco to speak of. He's now gonna get castle dropped himself. Mihai looking to force the issue. He's got a monk for every knight in eldeniro's army. He is getting really, really strong. He's scary. Mihai has carried all the games here on nomad that he was asked to. And he's in a prime position to do so again. But so is El Matador. I mean, really, he's got some pressure on him, but generally, he's got a lot of TCs, got a lot of villages already over here in the east. A lot of rest for him. He's taken out all of the original base there from Alexander, who has done a really good job migrating the eco. And so he's still very much relevant in this game. Mihai's team now up by about 40 eco units. Lord, that is scary. My goodness. Army numbers about the same on both sides. Value wise, also not that big a gap to speak of. TC gonna be taken out here. eldeniro already migrating to a second one further back. But he's starting to be cornered in here. I mean, look at aleksanderG encroaching from the east with more and more TCs. Now Mihai pushing up from the south. eldeniro might be squashed in between the two of them here. And taken out if El Matador can't do anything to alleviate some pressure from him. Some latest coming over there from Mihai. Let's check in on those. They have +2 attack. No blacksmith upgrade, so that means 2 relics have already been picked up by Mihai. Wow, that is one strong castle age unit. And yeah, mangonels from El Matador might be nice, but they won't do that much against the latest. If they're able to get into the base at least. Another castle here to secure the middle for Mihai, and I really like this setup for Team Romania now. They are so boomed up, so strong for castle age. Yeah, just adding more TCs, castles everywhere. Poor eldeniro, he's just not really a factor in this one. Like, he's completely outmatched by Mihai in the south. Look at this, he's going to get this TC denied as well. Ouch, no, and the villager converted to that TC. Was it deleted? Was it destroyed? I can't be sure. I don't really know on that one. But regardless of what, It's looking rough now. El Matador will really have to step up here and somehow make a big move happen, but I wonder if it's not already too late. Down by about 80 villages, his team. And Imp is on the way for Mihai. It is looking super difficult here. A lot of resources in the bank for El Matador. Wonder if he's looking to get up to Imp himself. He's converted too late here, actually, it seems. Oh, well, they have that 13+2 attack still. Running straight into their castle, so fortunately for Mihai, could have been worse. But, well, they have a lot of space to give up here, Team Romania. Alexander can fall back here to additional TCs and maybe would be well off dropping another castle here. There's a lot of villages actually being caught up by the Gebettos right now. So he's going to lose quite a bit. But Mihai here, that should be the main worry for El Matador at this point. He and him both have around 120 villages already. Big difference being Mihai already almost up to Imp. Once he gets those trebuchets out, that should be pretty difficult to combat. Also now being dropped very far back for aleksanderG, trying to secure his eco space against the mangonel Gebetto push from the Malians. That is very annoying. Okay, well, the Gebetto very vulnerable, no armor upgrades on them. But what could kill them right now? There's no really any units there from the enemy that would be scary. There is Imp for Mihai. Forward castle has been completed as well. Oh, looks like these villagers are gonna take a few more beatings by the Gebetto finally being pulled back though. And there we go, latest conscription coming in. Trebuchets being queued. What is the response gonna be? Another TC being attempted by eldeniro in this spot, but he's still on his 33 villagers. How Mihai really turns up the pressure with a castle right inside his face. Gotta say though, the knights there from eldeniro working really well. That's a lot of villagers going down for aleksanderG. Have boomed up really nicely, but now is suffering the pressure of fully boomed El Matador as well. And Imp 2 minutes away for the German. And it's Gebetto, really quite scary. Going to sneak in from the western side now. And aleksanderG is losing a whole lot here. He's got those two castles. They can't protect all of his eco, sadly. So he is suffering. And, wow, look at this. This is just unnecessary. Mihai, being a jerk, completely waits for this TC to complete, then tower drops it and takes all of the resources right beside it. And Nero, his eco is almost entirely gone at this point. What can El Matador do over here? Elite latest upgrade is coming in. They have 13+4 with forging now in as well, so that means 3 relics are picked up already by Mihai. And he's got those trebuchets coming. That should be extremely hard to handle for El Matador. Look at the latest diving in here. Oh, they're completely burning through these villagers. Look at them, they're just two-shotting the vills. Literally two-shotting them. Wow, that is painful. That hurts a lot. Well, El Matador forced to pull some army home. The remaining knights from eldeniro coming along as well. Another castle will be dropped down here. Oh, will it? Oh, yeah, that is going to go up. Good house wall there coming in from Mihai to secure it. Really nice job. That's going to be a really good base for the trebuchets to set up in. At least El Matador also was able to reach Imp. And now has those trebuchets queued. But is he going to be able to stand up to this pressure? I'm not sure about that. You have to give up this first castle and build another one further back. Let's hope for him that that one goes up, because the latest might storm in once that one goes down. And it's 16+5 attack on the latest. Triple relic Lithuanians here on Nomad in Imperial Age. They are looking to clean house here. Oh boy. How scary is this? Elite Gebetto on the way. Is this gonna be in time though? Not so sure, guys. 130, 140 wills here for the beast players on both sides. But the newbie players 100 is for Alexander, just 40 for eldeniro. That's a huge difference there. And Mihai, with all the momentum here, having been in for much longer, has all the relevant upgrades. He's storming in there. Oh boy, he's looking to snipe these trebuchets. Look at them, they're going to be taken out here. The castle might fall, I'm not sure. Oh, last trebuchet salvos, it's going to be close. Yeah, the castle falls from El Matador. It's small victory there as he loses a lot of units there. All the trebuchets and the castles as well. It seems like he's being pushed off of the map right now with all the latest storming throughout his land. I don't think he's got anything to stop this, honestly. He's got a million TCs, but the latest don't seem to mind. Doesn't have enough monks to hold this push up either. And so he's probably not going to be able to recover from this or stabilize the situation, I don't think. Trebs still rolling forward. Monks to protect them. More latest coming in. And aleksanderG still in the sea. At the same time having a great old time. Booming with more town centers. That's GG called. Team Romania 1 win away from winning this tournament bracket with a 1-0 lead now over El Matador and eldeniro. Really nicely done here. Whoops. Getting that one in the bag. And now it's on Team L and L to decide which of the 1v1s they want to have next. Do they want El Matador against Mihai, where there's about a 50 elo difference as of right now. It should be relatively close in skill. Or do they want eldeniro against Alexander, where there's around about a 100 elo difference, at least according to the stats that I grabbed a few weeks ago. Hard to say. I assume maybe it's going to be Mihai against El Matador. Let's check it out though. Here for the score, it is 0-1. And we'll see what the match is that was chosen. It seems to be game 2 here, seems to be El Matador against Mihai. And again, that is the choice that I had suspected as well, so it would make sense. We'll see if if this goes any better for the team of El Matador and eldeniro. That being said, that is game 1 in the bag. Let me just quickly prepare here in Capture Age for the setup. Okay, good then. All the stakes are set, I believe. We know what is at stake here. Let's jump in here for game 2 of this 4th match there in our round robin. High elo bracket of the Newbie and the Beast tournament. Mihai and Alexander with a victory here. Secure first place in this tournament bracket. Secure 60 euros, I believe. Don't hope I didn't get this one wrong. Yeah, secure 60 euros for their team if they're able to win this game or the next one, because of course they have 2 match balls now to close this one out. We see really early mill by Mihai being dropped down south. He's playing as the Gajaros on Arabia against a Matador who's chosen the Franks. Well, not an expert Gajara player. I've tried him out a couple of times lately. I like them quite a lot myself, actually. It sounds like a playable matchup. Honestly, the Gajara Camel's amazing. Counter that Frankish cavalry really nicely. But of course, there's more to the Franks than just their cavalry. Just saying, on paper it sounds pretty good, with the main units going up against each other. Let's check out the Civ overviews for more, and if there's anything more to this matchup than I might have suspected at first. For the Gajaras, again, they are a highly unusual civilization. Strong bonus that they have is that mounted units deal extra bonus damage in Feudal, Castle, and Imperial Age. So the longer the game goes, the more OP that camel bonus against cavalry gets for the Gajaras. And also that extra food income they have with their mill down here. We already saw, right? With those berry bushes spawning underneath the TC. And that's where you start gathering your food. You send your herdables into the mill. And that's just a little bit extra passive food income that boosts especially your early game food eco. So not too bad in that regard either. What's amazing for the Gujaras really in terms of military is, well, that they don't get a lot of the standard options. No battering rams, no pikemen, no knights. And even lacking late game upgrades such as Lost Archer Armor and Blast Furnace. But what they do get is all of the unique units, and that is really where the civilization shines military-wise. They get that Camel Scout to start the game with. The camels are a strong part of their identity against cavalry units. They get Shrivamsha Riders as a unique unit just from the stable in Castle Age, where they admittedly lack the knight, but Shrivamsha are a really strong unit against archers, and for raiding as well. And then the last unique unit from the castle, that is the Chakram Thrower, really strong against infantry, or against any melee unit, mass, I should say. So they have really good answers to almost anything in terms of the unique units, if they're able to get to that. On the other side, Franks, a much more classic civilization, much more standard civilization as well. They, interestingly, have not gone out for their berries yet. El Matador here, still only with that lumber camp as his only building. His second building is going to be the barracks. So are we going to see the French Drush here? We'll see about that. It is a bit uncommon not to go for the berries earlier than with the Franks. Oftentimes you'll see that just because of that foraging bonus there that we of course have. And the Franks are with such a straightforward identity, right? You get that foraging bonus, you get more food in the early game than the average Civ. Then you get free mill technologies as well, so that allows for a smooth farm transition afterwards, since your berries are used up rather fast. And then in Castle Age and in Feudal Age for that matter, Feudal Age for your Scout Rush, and Castle Age for your Night Rush, you get that extra HP on your cavalry. So that is kind of the general core identity of the Franks. Interestingly, Matador even going here for 10 gold, so he's really looking to get some militia out here. Finally goes out to his berries too. He's going for that 18 villager Feudal Age. Whereas just... Wow, did he snipe that? No way. Mihai rightfully complains about that. Let's get a replay on this. Let's see how he spots this, El Matador. So he comes in here. La 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 la. Sees that goat walking home. Well, he doesn't see it right now probably. But he thinks, wait a minute. That goat, it's looking to get into the mill. Bam! Smacks it dead on the spot. That is... I've never seen that happen. Just that random, nonchalant goat just trying to get into the mill and right on the doorstep of being safe just gets smacked in the head by that scout. That is so funny. Now, oops, let's get that Civ overview down since the action in game has already started. I want to say here, Gujaras with that one earlier villager uptime. They are probably going to go into a stable here if I had to guess. Or actually it's the archery range. Surprise there. I didn't personally expect that. So archery range opening it is. Well, actually we should have seen that coming since it's already on gold, indicating that archer opening. And that is probably because he spotted those militia coming out. That was a nice job by Mihai. He scouted the barracks, scouted the militia along the way. So that is going to be, well, it was going to be a man-at-arms upgrade. I'm not actually sure if he's going to go through with that, Matador, since he already sees, well, probably is about to see the archery range that has come in for Mihai. And yeah, he's going for the double bit axe now. He wasn't going to invest that 100 food. Instead, was going to use it for men-at-arms if he needed it. But now sees that he doesn't need the men-at-arms upgrade. He's already forced the archery range with his militia, so maybe that is enough of a victory out of the militia, and he's going to go into archers next. Oh, okay. So both civilizations that typically open with scouts are going to go into archers here. At the pro level, it is very different though than for the low elos. The low elos, we just make whatever unit is strong for our civilization. Pro players are playing the map much more than the civilizations. So good response here by Mihai, spotting that militia play and getting the archers out fast. Fletching also in already. Well, it's a fast fletching here. Doesn't have horse collar yet, which of course the Franks got for free. He still has a couple of militia on his ass. That won't be as terrifying. Really nice job. Wow, must have seen that or suspected a militia would come around. Sends one archer, two archers just to take care of that and should be fine. Now with the harassment forward though, might be able to pick off this one villager and gets that villager kill here. Really nice job by Mihai. He strikes first, gets the first kill of the game. And that is a great start. Remember, this game, if he's able to win it, would put his team in first place in this tournament bracket. That would be 60 euros secured for Team Romania. So big win here if he's able to bring it home. It's up by 3 villagers already. That is pretty big. Wonder why. Only killed 2 so far. Well, the idle time for El Matador is the reason. He is under pressure already. He's got a couple of archers himself, so he might have to maybe out micro here, but Mihai takes that hill, gets good shots in there. Still has the camel scout there as well. Matador forced to garrison here. It's a stressful fight for sure, and these Franks here are quite uncomfortable on the archers. It's not where you typically like to see them in feudal age. It's now picking up flashing as well. Ooh, I didn't catch that. Well, I actually did, but I had forgotten about it, even though I mentioned it earlier. Fletching for Mihai had already been in the entire time, so really you can't win an archer fight with similar numbers if the one guy has better upgrades. Almost impossible. Handcart, or excuse me, wheelbarrow now being picked up by Mihai. That will help with his farming eco. Oh, has an okay amount of farms. Still seems like a bit of an early wheelbarrow for my liking. But well, he's done great damage there, killed 2 villagers already, caused a lot of idle time, but has the same amount of idle time at home himself. Looks like he was able to pick up another archer here at the front and is idling the gold of El Matador for now, who is going into a stable behind this, but he doesn't have the farm set up yet to be able to produce scouts. So that'll be a rather rough stable transition here. He just doesn't have the numbers here, skirmishers or archers, in order to be able to fight this. Now we have the scouts coming out for Mihai, and this is a critical moment in this game where it might tilt. Mihai, who was fast on the archer production, is now also faster on the scout production, and he might give El Matador a lot of trouble defending against this push right now. This is looking so scary right now for El Matador. Great with the one archer behind the woodline too. Mihai is putting a lot of pressure here. Man, Team Romania, what are they doing to this tournament bracket? They are stomping through this round robin. El Matador here, he's holding on by a thread right now. Trying to out micro here, gets a good shot in at the back end of this trade. Still tries to keep his gold miners working. For the time being, he's getting some more gold income there. Also has enough farms right now to occasionally get another scout out of the stable. But the one he's got is just chilling for now. Look at the gold miners. It's constantly being harassed here. Skirmishers helping out, so the scouts are going to go down in the end. Horse collar being picked up by Mihai now as well. And this is such a messy game. The fighting continues. The tower to defend his gold. Maybe that's going to put an end to the harassment in that spot, but the woodline is a much different story. These archers back here harassing the villagers. Now the question is, can he keep them alive, or is this army going to be cleaned up? There's a lot of skirmishes in this ball for El Matador, so he might be able to kill a lot of archers here as well. It is roughly even numbers fight. More HP for the red units though. El Matador, can he get a lot of kills here? If he cleans this up, maybe that's his way back into this game. He's not that far behind, of course. More idle time for Mihai actually at this point. El Matador has done a really nice job getting villager production, keeping that up while still getting a few scouts out of his stable. So respect to him for that. He's not crumbled under the pressure. He's going to be faced with a new army coming from the south though, and I don't think he's suspecting this at all here, right here. He's been able to clean up the archers in the north, but not the scouts, and they're going to team up with this new army here. That is scary. Look at the amount of archers, 6 of them with fletching and 5 scouts alongside. This might be another few Frankish villagers or soldiers going down here. Ouch. What a display of pressure here by Mihai, who's constantly bringing the fight to El Matador. No fights at his own base at all after that initial militia play. And he's been forward this entire time. Is he going to be engaging that one? I don't think so. Well, the HP amounts are almost identical here at both sides, and it's going to be a Castle Age click up for Mihai much sooner than for El Matador. Well, we'll see. He's going to be chipping away at the scouts here for the time being, but he's ideally not looking to lose his archers here. That would be unfortunate. It's a lot of skirms here, so must be careful not to step up too much. Gets a nice snipe on the low HP scouts here. It's a really good job focusing the low HP ones initially, actually. And wow, what a good movement here. Dodging several of these skirmisher shots here. Really nicely executed by Mihai. Wow, he cleans up this entire army. And El Matador now able to click up the Castle H2, but he's suffering. His army has been cleaned up. This is so far behind on the way to Castle Age. He's almost a minute after the opponent, and he still hasn't cleaned up the army that is running through his eco. It's looking so good for the Romanian team right now. My lord, what is gonna stop these archers from tearing up these villages? El Matador looks really out of sorts here. His Franks, they are struggling so mightily. Ah. I really feel for him here in this one. It is so tough to play. Mihai has been incredibly aggressive, and he's going into camels next. Look at this. He's queuing up more camel scouts. He's got that scale barding in already. He's even adding some extra archers. So it's going to be crossbowmen, but it's also going to be camel upgrade that comes in for free, of course, once you hit Castle Age. So against the scouts and the infantry is going to have amazing answers. It's already up to Castle Age. Can El Matador hold on here? He needs to, if he wants this series to continue. If he wants to be able to still contest for the #1 spot in this tournament. But frankly, I don't really think it's gonna be realistic. Bodkin arrows in, that's 10 archers with such high damage output potential. And we have the 4 camel riders now coming forward as well. Mihai, he's sold all of his stone to get up to Castle Age, admittedly. That is a big investment. But El Matador doesn't have much stone left either after the tower that he was forced to drop. Now his gold miners, again, the story of this game. The gold miners are still being harassed by these archers. I've been sent forward and they are going to be crossbowmen in a second. It's Bodkin against no Bodkin here for the time being. Well, the micro is there for El Matador doing a decent job. Well, is he going to win this one? Oh, it's a close one, but his crossbow, well, his archer is going to clean up the last crossbow. Shrivamsha now also be coming in. Oh, lord. When you're relying on crossbows against Shrivamsha, you're in for a bad ride. But luckily, there's a knight there as well that keeps the Shrivamsha in check. GG called, though. Mihai, with the pressure, overwhelms El Matador here. Really nicely played Gajara game. And the patented Romanian Gajara to close out this series and to close out the tournament for his team. There's plenty of games left to be played in the bracket to decide places 2 to 5, but #1 spot locked up here by the Romanians. Huge congrats to them, getting another 2-0 here, looking so good in this tournament. And they just have the prep down. They have a feel for these rules here. Even already surprising us in the show match and then continuing that performance into the main event. 4-0, winning all of their best of 3s against everyone in this group. Now this has to be updated, these standings. That is 4-0 for Alexander and Mihai, and that puts them, as I said, at the #1 spot in this group. They win those 60 euros. Big congrats to them. And eldeniro El Matador, now with the rest of the bunch here, going to be at 0-1, fighting for those other remaining spots. Second and third place of the group will also receive some prize money, so there's still stakes to be played for. But that being said, the main story of this game here has to be Team Romania locking up first place with the clinic. I mean, again, I mainly want to thank them for playing the game so quickly. They were the first ones to get their games out of the way here in this round robin, and they got the wins as well, so that has to feel nice for them. So, yeah, they did an amazing job there. And deserving winners here, for sure. Even, as I said already in the show match, participating there and having good performance. And then, yeah, able to continue so in the actual event as well. Now I'm looking forward to the rest of these teams battling it out. They all starting on even footing with a 0-1 record. I'd still say Dragon and MBL should be the favorites here. I mean, elo-wise, they are really strong and they're really competent players, also with a lot of tournament experience. Like, I've seen Dragon, for example, in the what was it called? Queen's Cup? Oh no, sorry that I'm blanking on that. Age of Queens tournament, at least. She did amazing there as well. MBL, we don't have to talk about him, a legend of the scene, so I'd definitely consider them the favorites still, but it is wide open as the other teams will battle it out for the remaining prize money places, and Team Romania takes first place in the high-elo tournament part of this event. So that's going to be it for today. That's all the games that I have recordings for so far. It's supposed to be El Matador Eldeniro versus MBL Dragon next, I believe. Maybe I'll be able to cast that tomorrow. We'll see. I'll cover this part of the tournament as it goes on now. We are caught up to the most recent standings and this one, and we already have the first place team confirmed, so that's cool. And I invite all of you guys to check out the other playlists on my YouTube channel for the other games of this tournament or of other tournaments, such as the Champions Invitational hosted by Hera earlier this year. And just as a lookout for the next 2 weeks, I'll have a Civ 3 tournament running on my channel as well. But that's going to be it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next streams or videos.